What if the moment that shatters everything we thought we knew wasn't found in a lab, but on a quiet trail, mid-step, caught on camera by accident? These are not distant rumors or recycled myths. They are new recordings, raw, unstable, filmed while hiking, showing upright figures where none should exist, shapes that move with intent, proportions that resist explanation, details that force scientists to pause, rewind, and admit something feels wrong. If this is not human and not any known animal, then what exactly are we seeing and why now? Are these glimpses errors in perception or cracks in the map of what science claims is possible? Tonight's footage does not answer those questions. It sharpens them. And what you are about to watch begins exactly where certainty ends. Time-stamped late afternoon, Pacific Northwest conifer forest, filmed on camera during a solo hike. A tall silhouette emerges from a slope, caught on camera between tree trunks. Movement is slow, deliberate, terrifying in its silence. The figure's estimated height exceeds 2.4 meters, shoulders unusually wide relative to hip width, arms hanging below mid-thigh with a swing pattern inconsistent with Homo sapiens, while the chest appears barrel-shaped, the neck visually compressed into the torso, and the knees flex inward during bipedal locomotion, suggesting a mass distribution closer to no known great ape. Dense hair coverage shows directional flow downward, matte with localized clumping as if abraded by foliage, and light absorption rather than reflection. Scanned frame by scientists who were shocked because joint articulation, stride length, and center of gravity shifts do not match costumes, bears, or primate models, no one believed until Bigfoot caught on camera was filmed this clearly. If this was not human and not ape, what biological lineage was just recorded on camera? Forest exchange. No exact timestamp, daylight forest clearing, filmed on camera at ground level. Two figures sit facing each other, caught on camera without vocalization. Scale difference is immediately terrifying. The larger subject displays a shoulder span nearly double that of the smaller, elongated forearms with minimal elbow flare, a broad thoracic cavity tapering sharply to the waist, and feet that appear wide with reduced arch definition, while the smaller figure mirrors posture rather than species-typical behavior. Hair density varies by limb with directional wear at the knees and forearms, suggesting habitual contact with terrain, and skin beneath that shows no reflective sheen, leading scientists to be shocked because social orientation, symmetry, and limb proportions do not align with Homo sapiens, great apes, or known hoax dynamics. Yet Bigfoot caught on camera was filmed in apparent interaction that no one believed could occur. If this was communication, what rule of biology allows it to remain invisible? Meadow crossing recorded at long range, Alpine meadow edge, filmed on camera with digital zoom. A dark mass crosses open ground, caught on camera briefly. The posture alone is terrifying. Estimated height exceeds nearby saplings, with a forward-leaning torso, lowered head position, and arms swinging with delayed phase relative to leg movement, indicating a gait not optimized for human balance. The neck appears shortened, trapezius musculature pronounced, knees flex under load, and foot placement suggests mid-foot contact rather than heel strike. While hair absorbs light unevenly, all of which scientists found shocking because biomechanical scans contradict Homo sapiens efficiency, great ape knuckle-walking ancestry, and costume physics, reinforcing reports no one believed until Bigfoot caught on camera was filmed crossing an exposed landscape. What evolutionary pressure produces something that avoids being known? White shape approaches recorded at night on a forest trail, handheld footage with unstable timestamp, filmed at close range. A pale, human-like figure advances directly toward the lens, caught on camera. No vocalization, no environmental response, and the silence is terrifying. Estimated height exceeds 3 meters, shoulder width disproportionate to pelvic span, arms extending well below the waist, and a forward-weighted bipedal posture that transfers mass through the midfoot rather than the heel. The thoracic cavity appears rigid and expanded, the neck visually shortened by elevated trapezius musculature, knees flex inward under load, hands broad with reduced finger taper, while dense white hair grows in uneven vectors, absorbing light instead of reflecting it, showing abrasion and dirt accumulation consistent with long-term habitat contact, scanned frame by scientists who were shocked because these proportions and gait mechanics do not match Homo sapiens, great apes, or the physics of artificial costumes and synthetic fibers. Snowbound contact, daylight footage in an alpine clearing under snow cover, filmed from kneeling height. One human kneels, the other remains grounded, caught on camera at close range. Relative scale alone is terrifying. The seated figure's shoulder height rivals a standing adult human, with arms exceeding femur length, a barrel-shaped chest narrowing abruptly at the waist, and a center of gravity held low and stable on snow. The neck is obscured by dense musculature. Shoulders roll forward, knees splay outward, feet appear wide with minimal arch definition, and thick gray-white hair clumps directionally with visible dirt saturation at contact zones. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because posture mirroring, joint articulation, and proportional symmetry failed to align with Homo sapiens, great apes, or typical staged hoax dynamics. Yet no one believed such calm proximity could be filmed until this Bigfoot footage was caught on camera. If awareness was present here, which biological rule was briefly violated? Ridge Walker afternoon recording on a snow-covered mountain slope, long-range zoom while hiking, filmed with wind shake. A dark figure traverses laterally across open terrain, caught on camera. The gait itself is terrifying. Height exceeds surrounding brush by over a meter, torso pitched forward, head held low, and arms swing delayed relative to leg movement, indicating bipedal locomotion inefficient for humans. The chest remains rigid, the neck shortened, shoulders elevated, knees flex deeply under load. Foot placement favors midfoot contact, and coarse brown hair absorbs light unevenly while separating in wind, scanned by scientists who were shocked because biomechanical modeling rejects Homo sapiens balance, great ape proportions, and the movement constraints expected from artificial costumes, padding, or synthetic fur. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed crossing an exposed ridge and caught on camera. What kind of organism survives by remaining biologically unresolved? Forest lineage, daylight recording, temperate forest beside a shallow creek, camera stabilized at chest height, filmed during forward movement. Three upright figures enter frame sequentially, caught on camera at close distance. The smallest remains centered between the two larger forms. The adult subjects exceed 5 meters in height with extreme shoulder breadth, elongated arms nearing knee level, and identical bipedal gait mechanics. While the smaller figure displays the same limb ratios scaled down, suggesting shared morphology rather than coincidence. All three lean forward under load, knees flex deeply, and transfer weight through the midfoot, with dense brown hair showing directional wear and debris accumulation consistent with long-term habitat exposure. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because proportional scaling, coordinated movement, and group spacing do not align with Homo sapiens families. Great ape troops, or any staged costume scenario, no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. If this was not coincidence, what biological continuity was recorded? Snowbound Walker night recording, boreal forest, snow cover intact, filmed with infrared illumination. A solitary figure advances laterally, caught on camera without haste. The environment remains unnaturally still, and that is terrifying. The subject's height surpasses surrounding saplings, with a massive chest, shortened neck, elevated shoulders, and arms hanging with minimal swing variance, indicating high upper body mass. Knees flex deeply, feet appear wide with midfoot contact, and thick gray hair reflects infrared unevenly, revealing layered density and wear patterns at joints. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because thermal distribution, posture, and gait contradict Homo sapiens' cold weather mechanics. Great ape locomotion, and staged cryptid models no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed moving calmly through snow and caught on camera. What survives winter without leaving a biological record? Tall grass passage, afternoon footage, open meadow at forest edge, Filmed while hiking with lens obstruction, a towering figure advances through tall grass, caught on camera in partial blur. Even obscured, the proportions are terrifying. Estimated height exceeds 2.6 meters, arms elongated beyond human ratios, shoulders sloped forward, and a rigid thorax limiting torso rotation. The gait remains bipedal with delayed arm-leg phase, knees flexed, and stable balance over uneven ground. While coarse dark hair absorbs light and separates under motion, scanned by scientists who were shocked because motion patterns persist despite visual distortion, contradicting Homo sapiens movement, great ape biomechanics, and known cryptid fabric behavior. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What form remains measurable even when visibility fails? Canopy observer, late afternoon recording, dense evergreen forest, camera partially obstructed by branches, filmed from below. A dark mass remains motionless above ground level, caught on camera against tangled foliage. No displacement of leaves is visible. Estimated height places the subject well above an adult human when crouched, with a rounded upper torso, compressed neck profile, and shoulders elevated toward the head. The posture suggests weight supported through bent lower limbs rather than suspension, while coarse dark hair absorbs light unevenly and shows localized debris attachment. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because static load distribution, limb concealment, and lack of sway do not align with Homo sapiens perching behavior, great ape climbing mechanics, or the balance limits of artificial costumes and padding. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What kind of body remains stable where movement should be unavoidable? Grounded advanced nighttime reconstruction footage, forest interior, fixed camera angle at chest height, filmed under low light. A large, upright figure advances slowly between tree trunks, caught on camera head-on. The spacing between steps remains constant. Estimated height exceeds 2.4 meters, with extreme shoulder breadth, elongated arms hanging near knee level, and a rigid thorax limiting torso rotation. The head sits low between raised shoulders, knees flex deeply under mass, and footfalls suggest mid-foot contact, while thick brown hair shows directional wear and dirt accumulation consistent with prolonged ground contact. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because stride regularity, joint articulation, and load-bearing posture conflict with the Homo sapiens gait, great ape locomotion, and the movement constraints imposed by synthetic fur, padding, or staged costume assemblies. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera at close range. How does a body this large move without adjustment? Luminous walker night recording, wooded area, camera operating in overexposed low-light mode, filmed during forward movement. A bright, human-shaped figure advances along a narrow path, caught on camera. Surrounding foliage remains dark. The subject's outline suggests a height exceeding nearby tree branches, with a forward-leaning torso, arms held slightly away from the body, and a stable bipedal gait. Despite extreme brightness, limb proportions remain consistent, shoulders broad, neck shortened, and knees flexed under load, while light saturation obscures surface detail without altering motion patterns. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because overexposure fails to disrupt silhouette continuity, contradicting human glare behavior, reflective costume materials, and optical artifacts from synthetic fabrics. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera in such conditions. What remains visible when surface detail is erased? Trail pursuit. Morning footage on a fern-lined forest trail, camera mounted at chest height, filmed while moving. A dark, upright figure retreats along the path, caught on camera ahead of the operator. Foreground elements indicate a lower viewing angle and sustained pursuit. Estimated height exceeds 2.2 meters, with narrow head profile, elevated shoulders, and elongated arms swinging minimally. The subject maintains a steady bipedal pace without lateral sway, knees flexed under load, feet contacting midfoot first, while dark hair absorbs ambient light and shows directional flattening, consistent with movement through dense undergrowth. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because pursuit stability, Stride regularity and distance control conflict with human flight responses, great ape locomotion, and the constraints of staged costumes or synthetic materials no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What decides the distance when neither side accelerates? Blurred ascent, low-resolution daylight footage, wooded slope, digital zoom engaged, filmed from cover. A partially obscured figure ascends diagonally, caught on camera through foliage. Motion remains legible despite image degradation. Relative limb length exceeds human ratios, torso pitched forward, shoulders rolled, and arms counterbalance ascent with delayed phase. Knees flex deeply on uneven ground, foot placement remains consistent, while coarse hair breaks into blocks under compression, artifacts yet preserve silhouette continuity, scanned by scientists who were shocked because readable biomechanics persist through blur, contradicting human motion under panic, great ape climbing patterns, and the expected distortion of artificial fur or padded costumes no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What persists when detail collapses? Cave thresholds, static night, recording at a rock outcrop, framed opening, filmed with on-screen indicators. An upright figure stands within the stone gap, caught on camera facing forward. The boundary between dark and light remains fixed. Height approaches the rock aperture, shoulders broad, neck shortened, arms hanging low. Stance is squared and load-bearing, knees slightly flexed, minimal sway, while long hair falls vertically with uneven reflectivity and no flutter. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because posture control, hair behavior, and silhouette rigidity do not match human posing, great ape resting stances, or the physics of artificial costumes under airflow. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera at a threshold. What changes when the environment frames the body? Industrial collision daylight footage at an active construction site, heavy machinery, stationary, filmed at close range. A massive upright figure makes forceful contact with a metal excavator arm, caught on camera mid-motion. The machine does not shift. The subject's lower limb shows extreme muscle volume, with a femur length exceeding human ratios, a wide knee joint absorbing impact, and a foot striking laterally rather than toe first. The torso remains upright under force, arms counterbalance without flailing, and dense dark hair compresses against metal without visible fiber separation. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because impact mechanics, joint tolerance, and balance recovery do not align with human strength limits, great ape force application, or the expected failure patterns of padded costumes or synthetic materials no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What kind of anatomy tests machinery without yielding? Meadow passage, wide-angle daylight footage across an open grassland, distant tree line stable, filmed from elevation. Two upright figures move away from the camera, caught on camera crossing open terrain. Their spacing never changes. The larger subject exceeds 2.4 meters, with elongated arms and a steady bipedal stride, while the smaller mirrors gait timing and limb ratios at reduced scale. Both lean slightly forward, knees flexed, weight transferred smoothly through mid-foot, and dark hair absorbs sunlight without glare. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because coordinated pacing, proportional scaling, and exposure tolerance do not match human adult-child movement, great ape group travel, or staged long-distance costume walks no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera in full daylight. What relationship dictates identical movement across open ground? Forest hold low-resolution daylight footage within dense woodland, camera partially obstructed, filmed from distance. A solitary upright figure remains stationary between tree trunks, caught on camera. Background vegetation shows no disturbance. Estimated height exceeds surrounding understory, with a compact head profile, broad shoulders, and arms hanging low. Stance is load-bearing with knees slightly flexed, minimal sway, and consistent silhouette despite image noise. While dark hair breaks into blocks under compression, yet retains outline stability, scanned by scientists who were shocked because prolonged stillness, posture control, and readable proportions persist despite blur. Contradicting human hiding behavior, great ape vigilance patterns, and the instability expected from artificial suits or layered padding, no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What remains when motion is no longer required? Window witness night recording from an interior viewpoint, fixed camera facing outward, filmed with on-screen indicators. A pale, upright figure appears just beyond the frame edge, caught on camera at close distance. Eye reflections remain visible while facial detail stays muted. Estimated height places the subject above the window line, with a thick neck profile, elevated shoulders, and arms hanging low without swing. The torso remains upright and still. Hair appears long and dense with uneven reflectivity, absorbing most light except at the eyes. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because proximity tolerance, head posture, and the absence of startle response do not match human trespass behavior. Great ape curiosity or the expected motion artifacts of artificial masks or costume assemblies, no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What observes without reacting when observation is mutual? Snow escort daytime footage on a snow-covered slope, handheld camera, time code visible, filmed from above. A large upright figure moves downslope beside a smaller human, caught on camera. Their pace remains synchronized. The larger subject exceeds 2.3 meters, with elongated arms, broad shoulders, and a forward-leaning bipedal gait. The smaller maintains balance through short steps, while the larger adjusts stride length without altering posture. Knees flexed, feet contacting midfoot, dense dark hair showing directional compression, scanned by scientists who were shocked because controlled pacing, spatial awareness, and adaptive stride modulation do not align with human assistance behavior. Great ape following patterns, or staged scenarios using padded costumes or synthetic fur, no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What governs movement when one body adjusts for another? River margin dusk recording along a shallow riverbank, static camera across water, filmed from cover. A dark, upright figure appears at the tree line, caught on camera before entering the open bank. Water surface remains undisturbed. Estimated height exceeds nearby saplings, with a compact head silhouette, elevated shoulders, and arms held low. The stance is load-bearing with knees slightly flexed, minimal sway, and delayed forward movement, while coarse dark hair absorbs low light and retains outline clarity. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because hesitation timing, posture control, and edge of habitat behavior do not match human scouting, great ape foraging pauses, or the instability expected from artificial suits or layered padding. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What pauses at the boundary instead of crossing it? Rearward passage, early morning recording inside a conifer forest, camera trailing at low height, filmed while walking. A large upright figure moves away from the lens, caught on camera from behind. Vegetation bends but does not break. Estimated height exceeds 2.5 meters, with a pronounced trapezius ridge, narrow waist, and arms swinging minimally behind the torso. The subject advances with a forward-leaning bipedal gait, knees flexed under load, feet contacting midfoot first, while dense brown hair shows directional compression and moisture retention consistent with forest humidity. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because rear view proportions, stride efficiency, and foliage displacement do not align with Homo sapiens movement, great ape travel, or the drag patterns expected from artificial costumes or synthetic fur, no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What reveals itself most clearly only when turning away? River forager daylight footage at a shallow stream, camera stabilized at chest height, filmed at close range. An upright figure kneels in moving water, caught on camera handling a large fish. The current does not disrupt its posture. The subject's seated height rivals a standing adult human, with forearms thick, wrists stable, and fingers closing with precise pressure. The torso remains upright, shoulders broad, neck shortened, knees flexed against current force. while long dark hair clings in strands and reflects water unevenly, scanned by scientists who were shocked because fine motor control, balance and flow, and feeding posture diverged from Homo sapiens fishing behavior, great ape foraging mechanics, and the stiffness or buoyancy limits of costume materials no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. Infrared concealment night, infrared recording inside dense undergrowth, camera partially occluded by thin branches, filmed at close proximity. A broad torso fills the frame while limbs remain indistinct, caught on camera without approach. Eye reflections appear briefly, then vanish. Estimated mass exceeds human norms, with a thick thorax, shortened neck profile, elevated shoulders, and arms held close to the body. Posture indicates weight borne through flexed lower limbs, minimal sway, and controlled breathing rhythm, while coarse dark hair absorbs infrared unevenly, showing localized heat shadows and debris contact. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because static load management, respiratory control, and thermal distribution do not match Homo sapiens' concealment behavior, great ape crouching mechanics, or the insulation patterns expected from synthetic suits, padding, or staged props no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What remains present while refusing definition during sustained observation, under silent conditions without measurable environmental response across extended recording intervals at night again. Archival approach. Archival daylight footage dated 1997, woodland trail covered with light snow, playback stabilized from tape. A tall figure advances toward the lens, caught on camera with consistent stride. Arms hang low, hands relaxed. Estimated height exceeds 2.4 meters, with pronounced shoulder breadth, elongated forearms, rigid thorax, and a forward-pitched bipedal gait. Knees flex under load, feet contact midfoot, and head remains low between raised shoulders, while long dark hair shows uniform drag and no bounce. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because stride regularity, joint articulation, and load transfer contradict Homo sapiens' walking efficiency, great ape locomotion, and the inertia limits of synthetic fur, padding, or costume frames no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. Why does motion persist unchanged across decades of scrutiny, despite repeated analysis, replication attempts, environmental variation, and shifting technological standards applied retrospectively by observers worldwide over time, without resolution or closure emerging from available material evidence yet documented? Enclosure proximity. Low-light night recording inside a fenced rural enclosure, handheld camera angled downward, filmed during entry. An upright figure steps laterally toward a small animal, caught on camera without haste. Distance closes slowly. Estimated height approaches 2.3 meters, with compact head profile, broad shoulders, shortened neck, and arms extended for balance. Posture remains upright, knees flex minimally, and feet placed deliberately heel neutral, while coarse dark hair reflects artificial light unevenly and clumps near joints. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because proximity tolerance, controlled approach speed, and fine motor restraint conflict with human predatory behavior. Great ape feeding responses, and the exaggerated stiffness expected from padded suits, synthetic fur, or staged performances no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What governs restraint when opportunity is immediate under documented conditions? Lacking provocation, escalation, or visible threat, signals from surrounding humans, animals, or equipment present within the recording frame at that moment in time alone observed? Yard crossing. Early winter daylight footage recorded from a residential vantage point, snow-covered ground intact, camera fixed behind glass. A large upright figure moves across the yard, caught on camera near a structure. No vocalization or acceleration is observed. Estimated height exceeds 2.3 meters, with a broad upper torso, shortened neck, elevated shoulders, and arms swinging minimally behind the body. Gait remains bipedal and stable on snow, knees flex under load, feet placed mid-foot without slipping, while pale hair reflects cold light unevenly and shows compression at joints. scanned by scientists who were shocked because balance on ice, proximity to human dwellings, and controlled pace do not align with Homo sapiens' trespass behavior, bear locomotion, or the instability expected from padded costumes or synthetic fur. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. Why does something cross human space without urgency, disturbance, or acknowledgement under direct observation during daylight conditions alone? Violent overlap. Low-resolution daylight footage from rocky terrain, handheld camera shaking, filmed during sudden movement. Two large bodies collide violently, caught on camera in partial obstruction. The motion exceeds typical animal struggle. One subject displays upright posture with elongated arms and squared shoulders, while the other shows quadrupedal mass and lateral force. Impact transfer suggests torsional strength through hips and spine rather than shoulder-driven momentum. Knees flex under load, feet remain planted, and hair compresses without fiber separation. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because force direction, balance retention, and upright recovery do not match Homo sapiens' combat limits. Bear wrestling mechanics or the collapse patterns expected from staged suits or padded hoaxes no one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. If this interaction was misidentified, what assumptions collapse first under biomechanical scrutiny during frame-by-frame review of impact dynamics alone? Chromatic distortion. Degraded archival footage with heavy color fringing, unstable exposure, filmed at ground level. An upright figure kneels near debris, caught on camera amid optical distortion. Silhouette remains readable. Estimated height remains consistent across frames despite chromatic bleed, with broad shoulders, shortened neck, and arms extending forward under load. Posture suggests controlled kneeling rather than collapse. Knees flex deeply, spine remains aligned, and hair absorbs light unevenly, while edges split into color bands. Scanned by scientists who were shocked because motion coherence persists despite signal corruption, contradicting human movement under glare, animal foraging patterns, and the visual breakup expected from artificial materials or digital artifacts. No one believed until this Bigfoot footage was filmed and caught on camera. What aspect of form survives when image fidelity fails? Color collapses, and interpretation depends solely on structure rather than surface detail. What you've just seen is not a conclusion, it's a fracture. Each clip folds into the next like a trail that refuses to end, figures retreating, watching, waiting, appearing where logic breaks down. None of these moments stand alone. Together they form a pattern that science hesitates to name and history never prepared us for. The deeper you look, the less comfortable the answers become, and that discomfort is the signal. This is where one video hands you to the next, where the question doesn't fade, it follows. Somewhere between the footage you just watched and the one you're about to see, something is learning how to be noticed. If you want to keep tracking what others dismiss, if you want to stay with the evidence as it unfolds rather than after it's explained away, subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered. The trail doesn't stop here, it only gets quieter and closer.